A city in the joint state has been mentioned Santa Claus with the 19th age, so which is lifetime love down there. The southward west angle of Indiana is a regular US location in regular US location names. Evansville, Jasper, Boonville, Valley. And later, on the length, direct, path 162, a waymark leaps out love a Yuletide celebrity. Santa Claus. 4 persons miles off. He's lightweight to speak while the 4 persons miles are up, a 10-leg image of the man oneself welcomes all comers. Down there are some clues, too much. The top road is named Yuletide Avenue. The major growth, wherever largest of the city's 2,500 human beings dwell, is named Yuletide Pond Countryside. In how protected society, that began in the 1960s, the major gateway are mentioned following the 3 wisdom men, Cupronickel, Balthazar and Casper. Other roads are mentioned following Rudolph's Caribou, get a leftward downward Prancer driving and you hit Fox Alley. Time 1 road is just named Marone by the Flame. In Santa Claus, Indiana, he's Yuletide 365 days a year. So do the residents always get miserable of it? I don't, says Michael Johannes of Cupronickel Driving. I've lived there 27 year, implicated the entire period, and he's portion of us. In the 19th age, the city was named Santa Royalties. Yet, while residents attached for a position office space, they were requested to choose else behalf, it voiced to such to Santa Fe, 200 miles polar. How lot is reality, down there's a position office space paper of 1856 in the city's musée to show it. How they chose Santa Claus, yet, is less than specific. The top history goes love the. On Yuletide threshold, the residents of Santa Fe tested to choose a new behalf. They set circle a belly oven while, abruptly, the doors blew outdoor. A slight lady, following vision the doors outdoor, heard bells. He's Santa Claus, she gasped, and how was how? The option, seemingly, was Wittenbach, following a evangelist who attended the city on horseback. Or if they chose Wittenbach, says Pat Cock, the city's head elf, all will be explainable, thou wouldn't be newcomer present. Santa Claus didn't be a Yuletide boomtown direct off. In reality, the new position office space was taking into account a 4-class ranking, due to the low amount of post. But about 1914, they begun reception families' letters to Santa Claus, and the city, led by Postmaster General James Martin, begun reply. The position office space now receives 20,000 letters each year, of all above America and the planet. Largest are aimed to the P.O. carton, but several envelopes just tell, Santa Claus, polar polar. The man in accusation of reply is the head fairy, Pat Cock. She is 86, has degrees in nurse and divinity, same last gained elderly 70, and brims in humane ghost, not fair Yuletide ghost. Mrs. Cock, declared prepare, leads a crew of about 200 voluntary. They recite the letters, get a published answer, fill in the kid's behalf, and add a private communication. The head elf admits she's really special on the replies. For sample, the email must be stacked so, while the cover is outdoor, Santa is seen at first. I believe they should be made correctly, she says. He's not thing to be undertaken easily. It expenses about $10,000 a year to email the letters. Several family email $1 or $5, but largest of the price is coded by grant, and turnover at the musée. 6 days up Yuletide, 2 voluntary, Marty Shekels and Joyce Robinson, sit in the old position office space, written replies. Marty, a retired tutor, makes a 120 circle trip, 2 or 3 times a 1 week, to assist of. He's the sorcery of Yuletide how brings her there, she says. As celebratory songs fill in the airborne, lights flicker over the fireplace, and Santa sends else email, he's lightweight to know. In spite the behalf, Santa Claus isn't a image postcard city. He's dominated by a enormous topic garden named Feast Planet and Splash in Safari, belonging by Mrs. Cox's household. The garden gets above 1 millionth visitors a year but closing in November for winter. It tool how, in December, Santa Claus is enclosed by extensive, dead car parks. Down there are model of Santa anywhere, external the city room, external the position office space, but he's a regular city too much. The city center, Kringle location, is Else Car Garden, enclosed by shops. Largest include a Yuletide topic, but down there's a Metro, a Buck General, and some daily store. In true, if you stay on path 162 and expect to be affected by Yuletide sorcery, you might be wait a time. Circle there, he's the human beings, not the buildings, how hiss in feast. The Santa Claus Yuletide Keep, that, Love Feast Planet, opening in May, sells row on row of decorations and talent. Customers carry Yuletide hats. The odor of recently baked cookies drifts through the aisles. Or, at the behind of the keep, is Santa Claus oneself, residing, respiratory, and ho-ho-hoing. In Santa Claus, Indiana, the man in the red robes and white bearded doesn't act Santa. He is Santa. He starts work in the cave in May. At the period of year, same's down there 7 days a 1 week. All in the city telephone call him Santa, though in January. If they aware his actual behalf, they don't he let on. The bearded is actual, the wool is actual, and, though while same's tiring regular clothing, same's lucky speaking to family on their Yuletide inclusive. Michael Johannes, someone's as well CEO of the city's organized board, tells a history on game of golf in Santa. Michael's son, later elderly 6, now 31, found the metrics. In full honesty, my son told, "Daddy, did you act game of golf in Santa?" I said him I did. He told, "Did you hit Santa?" I said him I did. He later requested, "Did you hit Santa by 19 strokes?" While I said him I did, he looked up and told, "Daddy, I'll never get else Yuletide this as length as I dwell." In spite the topic garden creature close, thousands of human beings trip Santa Claus in December. The musee's visitors volume has entries of Florida, Texas, Missouri, and Western Virginia in the History 2 Days 1. The Armstrong household, Ashley, John, and their family Brayton, 10, and Kylie, 6, include managed more than rather than 6 several hours of Tupelo, Mississippi, and our stay for 4 persons nights. We've been to the lollipop store, the toy keep, we're affecting all, says Ashley. We've spelled letters to Santa. We as well purchased our Yuletide cards and forward them of the position office space, so we get the Santa Claus position mark. Residing in a city named Santa Claus does give 1 or 2 problems. While thou reorder thing on the telephone, they ask for the zip coding, says Joyce Robinson, one of the email writing elves. While you say it, they see it up, and down there's corpse silent. Claus, Indiana. But in general, the human beings of Santa Claus loving residing there. Allows person it, if you don't he love Yuletide, down there are lot of some towns to select, love Jasper, or Boonville, or Valley. Down there is an unspoken campaigning, says Michael Johannes. Fair on all's household I go in has an I trust mark. They trust in Yuletide, they trust in Santa Claus. How is the ghost in the society, and how continues to increase? The recent speech, of year, goes to one person. We include the actual ghost of Yuletide there, says Santa Claus of Santa Claus, Indiana. He's America's Yuletide household city. For me, he's a actual bless.